What's up, guys? It's Caliber here.
And the Beast.
And I'm Kara.
And the title is self-explanatory. Stop remaking classics.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you these movies are going to suck. From what Beast has heard, Pet Cemetery sucks. The new Chucky's going to suck. There's no doubt about that. If we
Right.
remember Chucky, Charles Lee Ray, yeah, stick with that. Don't do this robotic shit. Although robots are scary, it's just been overdone.
Right. Is this iRobot over here? Where's Will Smith? Oh, that's right. He's the new Blue Genie.
And I'm going to say this, the Carrie remake also sucked. The original was much better. It was corny, but it was much better.
Well, that's what made classics classic. There was a formula to it, and they tried to recapture the magic of it with nostalgia, hoping that's going to save it. But then they try to put a new premise on it, new agendas. I mean, don't even get me started about the reboot that they did for Ghostbusters. Oh, that was absolutely horrid.
That was terrible.
They tried to push the agenda that women do things better, which I have no problem with that message at all. Women and men could do everything absolutely equal, but they try to. That's what they turn the movie into. Is literally that's the message. There wasn't no like everything in the background, like the ghost, the story, everything was in the background of that one message.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it sucked, and there's no other reason for it. That's I mean, they could say, "Oh, it was great. We did a great job." It's like you would have if you didn't try to push and hammer in a concept that nobody was arguing with you in the first place.
This is something you see a lot with a lot of artists and stuff like that on the internet when it comes to Disney movies. And people will nitpick everything. The biggest issue people have with like Disney movies is, oh, they're all skinny. Oh, they're all white, and they don't really realize where the stories come from and why they're like that. So when you change something like that to push an agenda, you're not making it any better. You're actually kind of taking away from what the original story was. I didn't even really care for the original Ghostbusters, but it was still a good movie.
Right. Well, it was like they wanted to change it because it was all men, but it was like it just so happened.
What?
Well, it's not the point of that. It just so happened to be all men, because that's just how the story ran. There was a story. It wasn't like they were going around like, "Hey, Ray, freaking could we do this a lot better than women do?" When you can see women flapping around over here with these proton packs. No, there was no agenda in there. It was just a storyline that just happened to be. Now, if they wanted to change it to females, like all females, and it was just a female, like I was actually okay with that. It's like, oh, this is a funny cast. This is going to be good, because it was all male comedians before, or like if some, or at least a couple of them were comedians. Like a couple of them were, but it had an all-star cast as it was, and this one's going to be an all-star cast of comedians. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
At least that's what my intentions were, and then they totally took that and threw it out the window. But again, that's just one facet of what they do. Like what he was talking about with Chucky. Another thing that they're trying to push is this modernized thing. Instead of having about the voodoo concept, and that's what Chucky is. Now they're making him about like a crazy AI system robot that went crazy. You're taking away from the grassroots of the movie, what made the story concept great, and you're totally just like throwing it away for modern theatrics. It's the same concept.
I don't really. There's a lot of reasons I don't agree with doing that. Well, the first one is voodoo is great. It's fantastic. I'm sorry that's probably scarier anyway. I mean, how often do you have it in your head as like children that your dolls are going to come to life and they're going to move around and
I've
whatever.
Had that fear.
I had that experience.
I hate porcelain dolls.
That's what it was. It was a broken porcelain doll and a broken face. Terrifying. Anyway, Um, something about modernizing movies is all you're doing is sticking a date on it.
Right.
That's
Right.
literally all you're doing. Like if you watch Vampire Academy, the very opening dates the movie so bad because instead of just being like goodbye iPhone, they're like goodbye iPhone 5. It's like, well, that's already obsolete.
Right. I think when they put tech into anything, I mean, like it can do that. I mean, but there's a lot of movies that obviously that just didn't, it doesn't really play in the factor. I mean, you don't think about the time genres when you like exactly what you're saying when they put that timestamps on that it dates a movie and it only can go so far before you're like, well, 3 years down the road.
Well,
like,
there is one thing that's tech that no matter if it's mentioned or not, if you see it, it's dated. If it's a businessman with a flip phone. Because a flip phone doesn't necessarily date anything. Construction workers still use them, drug dealers still use them, etc. You'd be hard pressed to find a business person with a flip phone.
Right. Majority of these have the thing in their ear. Because they always try to find the smallest Bluetooth so it makes them look like you're talking to nobody, so it makes them look more like an ass. And sometimes sometimes they'll eat an apple for lunch just to make themselves more look like an ass.
I used to be the Bluetooth headset guy. The one little earpiece, little fucking iPhone 3.
Yeah.
I used to be that guy. But back to the female thing. Huh?
If you're still that guy, you just evolved.
Yeah, I evolved to 2 earbuds instead of 1.
More douchebaggery.
Huh?
I said more douchebaggery.
Yeah. But going back to the all-female cast thing, yeah, Terminator's doing that shit as well.
Right, it's all about that, and you can tell it's just about the agenda pressing out the fact that it's what they're doing for. It's because it's how they're promoting the movie. Well, just like what they did with that Ocean's movie, was it Ocean's 8 that they just came out with that was like that? It was like, and it was like, I watched the movie in concept thinking it was going to be good because it was like, it's about a sister, so she has a female team. So that makes sense. Okay, you got like a female team. It's like, let's see what the girls do. It's going to be good. And in that instance, it's like, okay, it makes sense. But they went out of their way, and one of the scenes, they were in a predicament about a tech situation, right? And I got somebody for that, and it was like one of the team members, they went to their younger sister, and then they even made it was like, oh, well, girls do it better. It was like literally they said that, and it was just like, now you know you're just pressing the agenda already now.
I mean, logically, women do make better jewelry thieves.
I'm not saying that men don't do anything better. What is
the rest of it's kind of unnecessary. No, what I mean is like the entirety of it as a whole, like Ocean's 8 as a whole, like that makes a lot of sense because
right.
A bunch of beautiful women make fantastic jewelry thieves.
Right, the concept.
No one ever suspects a well-dressed, beautiful woman. They're always shady about the men. They're always, they're always shady about service people. But a well-dressed, wealthy, beautiful woman? Absolutely not. Why the fuck do you think Catwoman, when she's freaking not Catwoman, but she's actually Selena Kyle, she's still a great jewelry thief as Selena Kyle because she's pretty and, she has that persona.
Right.
But the rest of it's just unnecessary. Just fucking feminazi vomit.
That's exactly what it is. It's like, there's a point where it's, you're just making. The point is there should be no thought about if it's gender, male or female, when making a movie, but they're pushing the fact that it is female, and it's like you by doing that are really going backwards. It should just be like this coming thing. This is the lineup of the people, and nothing else mentioned. Right? Just name off the cast. Don't make it about what the cast gender is, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're pushing that agenda, which
they should just push the story.
Exactly.
Right.
Why is it the way it is, right? There's certain like there was always situations of why people were in movies. There was always females in the movies that they're bashing anyway. I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
You know what remake was terrible? Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah, the Beast absolutely worked. CGI was off. Music, they taken out the classic music that was part of the original staple of Beauty and the Beast, and then they added music on top of it. They added a way more intricate, romanticized.
Oh, you know, we all needed a story, a backstory for Gaston and why he's an asshole. Absolutely, we all needed that.
What was his little buddy's name? I can't think of his name right now. So it's on the tip of my tongue.
The Pew or something? What's his name?
Oh,
The Fleur.
no.
No, it's like LeFleur. Like LeFleur.
LeFleur? Well, regardless of whatever it is. We all knew when we watched the cartoon that there was that like there was some kind of hint of like either a bromance or a thing. We didn't need to go into any more detail just to push it.
LeFleur.
Right?
LEFOU. LeFleur. I don't know.
That's my point. It's like they just kind of pushed that whole gym. They pushed him just to be. It's not the fact that they made him like
gay counterpart.
Right. It wasn't like okay. The point was he was a closeted, and it was not. That's what made it funny because it was like the girls would all be swooning after him, but he'd be kind of like, that was fine, right? I had no problem with that. Like back off, ladies. That was good. But then it started at the end. He's like coming like brashing out, but it's like he never did that in the movie. There was never that character arc, and now you're making that character arc.
Okay, couple things that bothered me too is that in the animated version, didn't they all immediately believe Maurice was crazy?
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't go off into the forest with him because then they would have been able to find the castle because the castle wasn't hidden like that.
Right. Because
he found it later, but. Another thing,
like
this was a really tiny detail that bothered the fuck out of me. The three women, was it 3 women or 2 women? Either way, the women that were always after Gaston.
It was 3 originally, but I think there's only 2.
I don't know. Whatever women were after him constantly. Animated version, they're blonde. Belle is a brunette. There's that fine line or whatever.
Right.
They're all brunette. In the live action.
Yeah. Why?
That's just such a pointless little detail for you to change. And I get it, you don't want blondes to seem dipsy, but like
that's a predictable.
It's not like he was exactly after Belle for her brains anyway, so they need to look different.
Wait. Blondes are now a protected group now?
Apparently.
Okay, well, I didn't get the memo about that. I apologize. I
have one last thing to say, and this is to the creators of Terminator, whoever's making it. Stop fucking with the damn timeline! You did how many fucking reboots, and it's fucked up every single time?
I'm sorry, you said stop fucking with the timeline, and all I could think was Doctor Who, Marvel, DC.
Oh fuck, they're all guilty of it.
Zelda. The biggest culprit of them all.
But I think that's pretty much it.
Kingdom Hearts. I feel like they fucked with that timeline too.
Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be alerted when we upload new videos. Anyways, guys, this is Storm Family signing out.